To the 15th utterance, man is a creature without self-knowledge. Yet, unable to know himself, he nevertheless knows everyone else like the palm of his hand, as though all others have first passed his inspection and received his approval before they say or do anything, and hence as though he has taken the full measure of all others down to their psychological state. Human beings are all like this. Man has entered into the age of kingdom today, but his nature remains unchanged. He still does as I do in front of me, but behind my back he starts getting up to his own unique business. Once that's over and he comes before me again. However, he is like a different person, seeming audaciously calm, features composed, pulse steady. Is this not precisely what makes man so despicable? How many people wear two completely different faces, one in front of me and another one behind my back? How many of them are like newborn lambs before me but behind me turn into ravening tigers, and then become like little birds flitting merrily about in the hills? How many show purpose and resolve in front of me? How many come before me, seeking my words with thirst and longing but, behind my back, grow sick of them and renounce them, as though my words were an encumbrance? So many times, seeing the human race corrupted by my enemy, I have given up placing my hopes in mankind. So many times, seeing man come before me in tears to sue for pardon, but on account of his lack of self-respect, his stubborn incorrigibility, I have closed my eyes to his action in anger, even when his heart is genuine and his intentions sincere. So many times, I see man capable of having faith to cooperate with me, and how, before me, he seems to be lying in my embrace, tasting the warmth of my embrace. So many times, seeing the innocence, liveliness, and loveliness of my chosen people, in my heart I have always taken pleasure on account of these things. Human beings know not how to enjoy their predestined blessing in my hands, because they do not know what is ultimately meant by either blessing or suffering. For this reason, mankind is far from sincere in their quest for me. If there were no such thing as tomorrow, which of you, standing before me, would be as white as the driven snow, as unspotted as pure jade? Surely your love for me is not something that can be exchanged for a delicious meal, or a classy suit of clothes, or high office with handsome emoluments. Or can it be exchanged for the love that others bear you? Surely, undergoing trial will not drive man to abandon his love for me. Surely, suffering and tribulation will not cause him to complain against what I have arranged. No man has ever truly appreciated the sword in my mouth. He knows only its surface meaning without truly grasping the inner. If human beings were genuinely able to see the sharpness of my sword, they would go scurrying like rats into their holes. Because of their numbness, human beings understand nothing of the true meaning of my words, and so they have no clue as to how formidable my words are, or just how much of their nature is revealed, and how much of their corruption has received judgment, within those words. For this reason, based on their half-baked ideas about my words, most people have taken up a lukewarm and non-committal attitude. Within the kingdom, not only do utterances issue forth from my mouth, but my feet tread ceremoniously everywhere upon the ground. In this way, I have triumphed over all unclean and filthy places, so that not only is heaven changing, but earth also is in the process of change, soon thereafter to be renewed. Within the cosmos, everything becomes new in the radiance of my glory, presenting a heart-warming aspect that ravishes the senses and lifts the spirits, as if man now exists in a heaven beyond the heavens, as conceived in the human imagination, unmolested by Satan, free from the assaults of enemies from outside. Above the cosmos, the myriad stars take up their appointed places at my command, beaming their light through the astral regions in the hours of darkness. Not one single being dares to harbor thoughts of recalcitrance, and so, in accordance with the substance of my administrative decrees, the entire universe is well regulated and in perfect order. No disturbance has ever arisen, nor has the unity of the cosmos ever been broken. I execute flying leaps above the stars, and when the sun shoots forth its rays, I blot out their warmth, sending giant flurries of snowflakes as big as goose feathers drifting down from my hands. But when I change my mind, all the snow melts into a river. In a moment, spring has sprung everywhere beneath the skies, and emerald green transforms the entire landscape upon the earth. I go wandering above the firmament, and immediately, the earth is shrouded in pitch-black darkness because of my shape. Without warning, night has arrived, and throughout the world it is so dark that one cannot see the hand in front of one's face. With the light's extinction, mankind seizes the moment to embark on a rampage of mutual destruction, snatching and plundering one from another. The nations of the earth, falling into chaotic disunity, enter upon a state of muddy turbulence, to the point where they are past redemption. Men struggle in the throes of suffering, moan and groan in the midst of suffering, set up a piteous wail in their suffering, yearning for the light to come into their midst once again, and so end the days of darkness and restore the vitality that was once existing. But I have long since left man with a flick of my sleeves, never again to take pity on him for the wrongs of the world. Long have I detested and rejected the people of the whole world, closed my eyes to the conditions on earth, turned my face away from man's every move, his every gesture, and ceased to take pleasure in his babyhood and innocence. I have embarked on another plan to make the world anew, so that this new world may find rebirth victims and no longer be submerged. In humanity's midst, how many outlandish states are waiting for me to set them to rights, how many mistakes for me to come in person to prevent them from happening. How much dust for me to sweep away, how many mysteries for me to unveil. All humanity awaits me, and longs for my coming. On earth, I am the practical God himself in the hearts of men. In heaven, I am the master of all creation. I have climbed mountains and forded rivers, and I have also drifted in and out of humanity's midst. Who dares openly to oppose the practical God himself? Who dares to break away from the sovereignty of the Almighty? Who dares to assert that I am, beyond the shadow of a doubt, in heaven? Again, who dares to assert that I am, without the slightest chance of error, on earth? There is no one in all of humanity capable of articulating in every detail the places where I reside. Could it be that, when I am in heaven, I am then the supernatural God himself? Could it be that, when I am on earth, I am then the practical God himself? That I am the ruler of all creation, or that I experience the sufferings of the human world? Surely these cannot determine whether or not I am the practical God himself. If man thinks so, is not he benighted beyond all hope? I am in heaven, I am also on earth, I am among the myriad things of creation, and also in the midst of the myriads of people. Man can touch me every day, moreover, he can see me every day. As far as humanity is concerned, I seem to be sometimes hidden and sometimes visible. I seem to have real existence, and yet I seem also not to have being. In me lie mysteries unfathomable to humanity. It is as though all men are peering at me through a microscope in order to discover even more mysteries in me, hoping thereby to dispel that uncomfortable feeling in their hearts. But even were they to use a fluoroscope, how could humanity uncover any of the secrets lodged in me? When my people, through my working, are glorified together with me, at that moment the great red dragon's lair will be unearthed, all the mud and dirt swept clean away, and the polluted water, accumulated over countless years, dried up in my burning fires, to exist no more. Thereupon the great red dragon will perish in the lake of fire and brimstone. Are you truly willing to remain under my watchful care so as not to be snatched away by the dragon? Do you really hate its deceitful stratagems? Who is able to bear staunch witness for me? For the sake of my name, for the sake of my spirit, for the sake of my whole plan of management, who is able to offer up all the strength in his body? Today, when the kingdom is in the world of men, is the time that I have come in person into the world of men. If this were not so, is there anyone who could, intrepidly, go into the battlefield in my behalf? So that the kingdom may take shape, so that my heart may be contented, and again, so that my day may come, so that the time may come when the myriad things of creation are reborn and grow abundant, so that man may be rescued out of the sea of suffering, so that tomorrow may come, and so that it may be wondrous, and blossom and flourish, and again, so that the enjoyment of the future may come to pass. All of humanity is striving with all their might, sparing nothing, in sacrificing themselves for me. Is this not a sign that victory is already mine, and a mark of the completion of my plan? The more that men dwell in the last days, the more they will feel the emptiness of the world and the less courage they will have for living life. For this reason, countless people have died in disappointment, countless others have been disappointed in their quest, and countless others suffer themselves to be manipulated in Satan's hands. I have rescued so many people, succored so many, and, so often, when human beings have lost the light, I have moved them back into a place of light, so that they might know me within the light, and enjoy me in the midst of happiness. Because of the coming of my light, adoration grows in the hearts of the people who dwell in my kingdom, for I am a God for humanity to love, a God to whom humanity clings in fond attachment, and mankind is filled with an abiding impression of my figure. But, when all is said and done, there is no one who understands whether this is the working of the Spirit, or a function of the flesh. This one thing alone is sufficient for man to experience in minute detail through the course of a lifetime. Man has never despised me in his heart's innermost reaches, rather, he cleaves to me in the depths of his spirit. My wisdom raises his admiration. The wonders that I work are a feast for his eyes. My words boggle his mind, and yet he cherishes them dearly. My reality renders man at a loss, dumbfounded and perplexed, and yet he is willing to accept it all. Is this not precisely the measure of man as he really is? March 13, 1992.